Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamic CIO Talk Show today, towards the fag end of the year. We have a very special guest with us, whom I will introduce in a short while from now, and also will discuss a series of developments in the world of cloud computing amidst the global crisis and beyond. It is very certain that in 2021, cloud will power how companies adapt to the new unstable normal. No one knows how far into 2021 we will continue to work from home or remotely, shop only online, or avoid travel. But it's clear that every enterprise has to become more agile, responsive, and adaptive than ever before. If we look back at how the public clouds have taken shape in the last 15 years, it almost seems like they were designed to handle the global demand caused by this pandemic. Not only did the pandemic turn millions of office workers into home and remote workers overnight, but also changed how every IT department and development shop functions. Without cloud apps, without development services, tools and infrastructure available to every business and consumer on demand, it would have been literally impossible to respond to the demands created due to the pandemic. Um, in 2020, cloud proved that indeed one should never let a good crisis go to waste. Enterprises' average cloud spending is up 59% from 2018 uh, to 73.8 million in 2020. Cloud technologies are now embedded in enterprise business strategies, as 92% of them say that their IT environment, which includes infrastructure, applications, data analytics, etc., relies purely on the cloud. So much so that 32% of IT budgets will be dedicated to the cloud by 2021. With these figures and data in the background, it's my pleasure to welcome Ashish Dhawan, Managing Director, Enterprise, Mid-Market and Global Business, South Asia at Amazon Web Services. Welcome, Ashish. How are you doing?
Hi, Rahul. I'm doing very well, and thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Thanks for being with us today, Ashish. Pardon me. So let me begin the conversation with a very generic question about the entire cloud ecosystem and how it is growing, and then we will go into the specific questions. Uh, Spending on public cloud services in India is expected to grow about 30% to 4.1 billion in 2021, as stated by the Gartner's recent figures. Cloud System Infrastructure Services, which is IaaS, is likely to see the highest growth at about 45%. My question to you is, how does AWS see this specifically in terms of adoption in the mid-market and large enterprise segments?
Thanks, Rahul. Rahul, we are seeing a fairly strong momentum across the spectrum of customers in India, whether it's enterprises, whether it's mid-market, whether it's startups, or even SMB and government. Our mission in India is to empower builders and businesses to build a better India by becoming the force that moves the country forward. So we believe that India is at an inflection point in which all businesses of all sizes can actually use cloud technologies to reduce costs, migrate mission critical applications, and enable agility, scalability, experimentation, and have a huge cultural change as they remove the legacy debt. In enterprises, we are working with many customers who are migrating mission critical applications like SAP and other workloads by accelerating their innovation and speed to market. We've seen in media, we've seen large workloads with accounts like Hotstar in financial services, Bajaj Finserv, and HDFC Life, even in telecom and many other verticals. You see a number of companies utilizing cloud in many imaginative ways, whether it's either reducing their technical debt or using their data for innovation. India is also home to the third largest startup ecosystems in the country. AWS Cloud is now the top choice for startups across the world. In India, unicorns like Dhruva, Zomato, Freshworks, Dream11 are all AWS customers. On the government side, we've actually partnered with the Niti Aayog to build the Niti Aayog Frontier Technologies Cloud Innovation Center, which is the first AWS CIC in India, as well as the 12th around the world. And lastly, I want to talk about the SMBs. There are 75 million SMBs in India, and many of these SMBs have to be digitized. Jeff Bezos had announced a pledge of digitizing 10 million SMEs in India by 2025. So we're going to play a fairly big role in that pledge. And you would have seen the announcement that we've done with Airtel a few months ago, in which we want to build a very strong go-to-market with Airtel together to capture the SME as well as the enterprise cloud market by making sure that all our customers get the advantage of AWS cloud for either being elastic or making sure that they utilize their data for more innovative workloads.
So when you say technical debt, I think it's a big bogey, I must say, on the organizations which are very legacy ridden. I'm not referring to the born in the cloud organizations which do not have any kind of legacy. So do you think that there's a compelling case for them to lift and shift into the cloud, adopt all the new infrastructure in the cloud?
Absolutely. So the cloud gives our customers a great advantage. In the days of past, when you wanted to set up an IT infrastructure, you would set up the IT infrastructure based on either your peak demand, so you would end up spending more, or you would not invest too much, so you would end up investing less in your IT infrastructure. With cloud, you invest to exactly what you require. You pay as you go. So it helps you not only save cost, it helps you have a very elastic infrastructure. It also helps you being more agile, because now what you're able to do is you're able to execute on your experiments faster. You don't wait for servers or networks or software licenses for days or months, right? You are able to spin up compute instances, spin up storage fairly quickly, and make sure your experiments see the light of day very, very quickly. So it helps you in being more innovative by making sure that your experiments see the light of the day faster. And lastly, Indian organizations want global reach. With cloud, you're able to now get global reach at a click of a button, right? So with all these advantages, right, cloud is becoming the port of call for most new applications that get started by the enterprise customers today.
Great. I'll have a small detour from my questions. So day before yesterday, I was watching Andy Jesse's short interview on CNBC, in which he specifically picked up a case of Moderna and how Moderna has adopted cloud, AWS cloud, and in these times, in these tough times when it is one of the front runners to develop vaccine, how the cloud has actually come very handy. Cloud infrastructure has come very handy in catching up with the workloads.
Yes.
So any such quick example that you have in context of the Indian region?
Yeah, a lot of our healthcare customers have started using cloud not only for increasing the pace of experimentation like Moderna did, which not only used our infrastructure services but also analytics and machine learning services, right? So that they can do experimentation and they can actually spin up instances faster. We've got a number of such examples in India, but machine learning overall, is a great sort of growth engine. It brings a lot of innovation to our customers. In India, we've seen machine learning used by customers like Jubilant Life Sciences and Jubilant Group as a whole, that are now using machine learning services to personalize the experience for their customers. We are seeing machine learning also getting used a lot in financial institutions like HDFC Life, who've used machine learning for giving a hyper personalization for their customers. It has improved their customer centricity manifold. So machine learning overall has seen a lot of growth as far as India is concerned. Just to give you another example, Laurie Breer, the CIO of JP Morgan Chase, was on stage with Andy Jassy. You must have seen that during the keynote, and
Yes,
she
sir.
said that she built a new machine learning workload based on Amazon SageMaker and Redshift that actually helps their agents take faster decisions. And JPMC executes 6 trillion worth of transactions per day. So it's a fairly robust engine that they've built based on our machine learning technology.
So in a way, you kind of sensed my next question. When it comes to public cloud adoption, most certainly it goes without doubt that AWS has a very unusual advantage of an early head start before the competition from other cloud players. It may be Azure or GCP or IBM, which actually caught up. So how evolved and functionality rich are AWS services or platforms in comparison to others? For example, if we talk about machine learning platforms, if we talk about Amazon SageMaker or Amazon Recognition versus Azure ML or GCP ML or even IBM Watson.
Sure. Rahul, customers are choosing AWS over other cloud providers because it has a lot more functionality. And it also has the largest and most vibrant community of customers and partners, as well as a very proven operational and security expertise. Right? You also see this expertise in the fact that we are innovating at a very fast clip, especially in the new areas like machine learning and artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and the serverless computing. AWS actually has more services and more features within those services than any other cloud provider by a large amount, right? We've been continually expanding our services, and within every workload, we are trying to increase the services manifold. We now have 175 fully featured services, including compute, storage, databases, networking, analytics, robotics, you name it. And you saw that in last week's reInvent, we announced many more services. Just look at compute, for example. Many cloud providers offer compute services, and they can say that we have compute. But it's not about checking a box. AWS has many more compute instances than anybody else. You have the fastest networking with our P4D instances. You have the largest high memory instances for SAP with the 24 terabyte high memory instances. You're the only cloud provider that actually offers a choice of Intel, AMD, and ARM processors. And for running machine learning at scale, our INF1 instances for EC2, which are powered by our inferential chips, are the most powerful ML inference instances. So we basically have the most powerful ML training instances with the P4D. You can also see the depth within containers. AWS actually has more capabilities for containers than any other cloud provider. The vast majority of customers running containers today in the cloud run on AWS, about 2/3 of them. We offered a managed Kubernetes service, which is called as Amazon EKS, as well as our own container service called Amazon ECS. This gives customers a choice. And in fact, just last week in reInvent, one of my favorite services got launched, which was Amazon ECS Anywhere and Amazon EKS Anywhere, which will now allow ECS and EKS services to be run from the customer's data centers as well. Can you imagine the amount of choice now the customers have using their own cloud, the cloud services that they know, which is ECS and AKS, now in their own data centers. You also know about serverless, right? With serverless, we have AWS Lambda, which is now running 140 native integrations and event sources, 7x more than anyone else. With storage, we've got many more significant ways of getting data into Amazon S3 than you can find elsewhere. And of course, with databases, we have 15 database options, which is again larger than anybody else. We have, in fact, a family of purpose-built databases as well to give customers the right tool for the right job, so that they can spend less money and be more productive. I'll just also end by going into machine learning as well. Right? In the fullness of time, we believe that virtually every application will be infused with machine learning and artificial intelligence. And most customers we work are very interested in machine learning because they give our customers direct business outcomes. And that's why uh, tens of thousands of customers are running machine learning on AWS, is spurred by the adoption of Amazon's SageMaker, which is our service that helps abstract all machine learning technology and give the customers an easy interface so that they can build their models and train their data using Amazon SageMaker. As I told you about HDFC Life and Jubilant, the Jubilant Group already, we also have Liberty Mutual Insurance, Slack, Intuit, Capital One, Finra, all of them using machine learning at scale. And that's why we're finding that machine learning is something that is helping us deliver customer outcomes at a rapid clip.
Excellent. In a way, you summarized the keynote by Andy for our viewers in India. Moving on, while the pandemic may have given a sudden boost to cloud adoption, especially public cloud, I mean, in India, similar to the world. However, there are still many apprehensions. And, when we recently did our India Inc. Cloud Readiness Survey, we found out that some of these apprehensions, like lack of resources or skills, security of data in the cloud, cloud management, compliance, are still, very, I mean, CIOs and CTOs are very heavily loaded with these apprehensions. So how do you think AWS, can step in to reduce this complexity?
No, I agree with you. So as far as the COVID-19 pandemic situation is concerned, you know, that has actually shown us that customers that were leveraging AWS cloud, either natively or through SaaS models, were able to have little or no disruptions in their operations. And they were actually able to serve and delight their customers even in the most trying circumstances. Now, this has led to more and more enterprises and SMEs adopting cloud and adopting these new age working models to make sure that they are able to withstand any such future disruptions in their work. So we are working with large enterprises to enable their digital journeys and migration to the cloud. For cloud migration requirements, enterprise customers are now trying to even migrate some of their most critical workloads. SAP being one, core insurance, core banking, large media workloads are all migrating towards the cloud. Yes, I agree. Customers will have certain concerns around, let's say, skills. And AWS has one of the most comprehensive skills development programs that is available. We work with our customers to look at the kind of skills requirements that they have and tailor a specific program for them so that every part of the organization, not just IT, even finance, marketing, procurement, all get cloud skills, the right cloud skills that are needed so that they can help, they can become more agile and innovative. Even on security, security is our number one priority, right? Our infrastructure is actually one of the most secure cloud infrastructure that is available. It has more than 200 security compliances that are there. This is the same infrastructure that is used by highly secure institutions like the military, government institutions, security institutions, as well as banks. So the same infrastructure is available to all our customers. As you know, security is a shared responsibility. We have the responsibility from the physical layer to the operating system and the virtualization layer, and the customers have the responsibility to build secure applications on top of that. And we provide our customers with the right documents, the right tools, and the right use cases that are there to make sure that they build the right applications in a highly secure manner. We also offer the AWS platform to our partners like Palo Alto Networks and Splunk and Trend Micro and F5 Networks and many other security security companies, so that they can build their security services on top of the platform and offer these to our customers. And we see a lot of growth from these companies offering their services through AWS. In addition, we also have our own security services natively built on AWS, like the web application firewall, the key management systems, etc. So in totality, with a strong infrastructure, with partners to work with, as well as our own native services, we are able to provide our customers with a completely well-rounded package so that they can be, we can be sure that they have a highly secure infrastructure with AWS.
So coming on to my final point of discussion with you, AWS last month announced expansion of its services to include a second infrastructure region in India, which will be up by mid of 2022. The new AWS Asia region, which will consist of 3 availability zones at launch, will join the existing 9 regions and 26 availability zones across Asia. So what does it actually mean to the customers and to the prospects in the enterprise and mid markets in India?
Absolutely. AWS, Rahul, entered the country in 2011 with the AWS Asia Pacific Mumbai region. It was launched in the middle of 2016 um, with 2 availability zones. And last year, in May 2019, the third availability zone was also launched. So now in Mumbai, we have uh, 3 availability zones. And on November 6th of 2020, we announced our plans to launch the Hyderabad region, which will actually be live by mid of 2022. So this will be our second AWS region in India. And honestly, this shows our commitment to investing in India and putting the power of AWS cloud directly in the hands of our customers, our partners, and developers. India is actually seeing a perfect storm for digitization. We want to be part of that journey. We want AWS to be helping our customers move forward across segments, enterprises, SMBs, startups, and bring the best of AWS to developers, builders, and businesses in India. Hundreds of thousands of Indian organizations, from startups to enterprises, have additional infrastructure to leverage advanced technologies from our new region, which is going to be available. And the intent is to first make sure that we deliver the impact at scale, reinvent how technology gets built, and then deliver and finally reimagine the customer's journey. We'll always continue to innovate on the behalf of our customers. So we always make sure that investment in India keeps on taking place, and we always make sure that our customers. We listen to our customers, and our customers always come first.
Thank you, Ashish. It was a great pleasure speaking to you at length, and also very informative and great deal of information that you shared for our viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.